All right, there we go.
Hey everybody, Ray and Kim, just giving you an update. I think last time we spoke, we were still in Coldwater Hospital, waiting for placement for Jamin. And gosh, my prayers were answered beyond what I'd even prayed for. Jamin has wound up in the help me out, sweetheart.
Neurological.
It's the Neurological Behavioral Hospital in Crown Point, Indiana. And
now,
Indiana.
Keep in mind, we're in Michigan.
Yes, keep in mind we are in Michigan, and it was actually through the complications because Jamin's health insurance falls under both my insurance and state insurance, both federal and state insurance. And in this case of hospitalization, the federal was overriding insurance and hospitalization, and there are only so many hospitals in the state of Michigan that could take him. And so because of that, I recognized immediately that federal insurance meant that he could go to any state. And so so I asked all the parties involved to start looking in every state, and that's where he wound up. And
that's only about it's about 2.5 hours away from where we are now. So yes. It is a over 5 hour round trip.
Yes.
When we make it, but it's better than where he was, and it took years and years to get to this point.
Yes.
And they were only in the emergency room for, when I say they, Jamin and Ray. Ray did not leave the hospital. He had to stay in the emergency room, in the room with Jamin for 3 days. And we have heard stories where people have been there for, if not weeks, months.
Yeah.
So this was a
and our
blessing.
heart goes out to you. I thought of all of you folks out there and considered myself lucky because just by them admitting Jamin as an adult, they created a bed for him. There were no emergency room beds. They created a bed for him that evening, or that in that moment on Sunday. So we were fortunate for that. And
so what happens next?
Yes.
So this is what happens next. They evaluate him, dial in on his meds, and he could be there anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. We don't know for sure. We haven't even talked to their staff, social workers, anything like that yet. We're going over tomorrow.
Behavior therapists that work one-to-one with them, teams of people. Now keep in mind, Indiana is one of the top 10 states in the country for resources for adults with autism,
and
for
behaviors.
Housing and behaviors. And he is one of those facilities in that state. So it has to be one of the better facilities in the country. So it was beyond what I had even hoped for him.
Yeah.
And he seems to have acclimated himself like a frog on a lily pad.
Probably better than Ray, because
yeah.
Jamin has relied on Ray for every breath over the last 10 months, and so
we've been cognitive Siamese twins.
And so from there, this is only a short-term facility. From there, he still needs to find a long-term specialized group home or facility that he will be in as a forever home. And we're currently looking for that, but because of the situation, we've actually had 2 possibilities of agencies that have several homes that do deal in behavioral issues and violent issues like he has. And so that is the first thing that has been happening, and we've had no other options and real options in 10 months, and ultimately no other options since he's been 18 and eligible to, or supposed to have been in a facility.
And so we've struggled trying to get him this very kind of help, and this is beyond what I had even imagined for him. And he understands what's happening. He's on board, and he understands he's going to school to learn how to behave better, to how to handle his emotions and thoughts. And gosh, I just think it's tremendous that he understands and has accepted that challenge and understands that at times it's going to be hard for him to express his feelings and that people are going to keep him safe, and he understands that as well. So it is wonderful. We also were blessed with during this same time period to be reached out to. I was contacted back by 2 agencies that I'd reached out to, just sent
Last
them
week.
information of our struggle on the internet or on their websites,
Yeah.
on their contact pages, and so those agencies have contacted us, and they are going to be doing their own intakes with Jamin to see if he'd be appropriate for them.
Yeah.
They're going to do those through this facility while he is there.
So
Yeah.
So I think we're good. We'll go ahead and keep
Yeah.
everybody updated. Tomorrow I did want to post a video about, I talked about how he put me in the hospital, how I got hurt and injured, and why I didn't just leave, because, I was unsafe. And also we'll talk about how he ended up back here in the home with Ray and Ray and I, and how that whole thing
Debacle.
transpired. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
The whole thing transpired, and how actually legally wasn't even supposed to happen, but did, and that is a struggle of a lot of special needs families.
Just that our court systems and the DHS and at least community mental health, at least in our particular county, they are not well coordinated, and they're antiquated in the way that they serve the community, if they're able to at all.
Yeah.
In some
so
cases.
so we'll post a video on how that all happened, and so we'll just keep updating everybody. And also we did take to social media to reach out to get help and resources and see if anyone else was in this position as well. And wow, it did not take long to be attacked very quickly. And so there are a lot of comments that I'll be pulling off of Facebook, and we will be addressing every single one of those questions, comments, accusations, everything. So that'll be to come at some point. So all right. Well,
and I've always honestly, I've let my actions and things that I've done for my son and family and with friends and customers speak for themselves.
And be as transparent as possible.
And I do thank you for all of our bait store customers that served us over the years as well. If any of you are out there and are listening, and that's a separate story that we'll share as well.
All right. Love everybody. Bye.